because they've been involved in a murder or two, they get brought bang on by people like me. They get a squad put on them, and then they can't do the normal day-to-day activities of stealing and gaining the cash flow. Because they're all not earning money now, they're all starting to bite each other in the back. They're all starting to steal stashes off each other. And that little disorganised group just falls to pieces. So there's some groups in the city that I've been screaming about for the past 3 or 4 years that have completely fell apart. And the little rats who thought they were going to become the next hitman because they were part of this group have been left to their own devices because they're roasting hot for that body that they've dropped a few years ago. And you should see the kip of them. Smoking rats, that's what they are, people. You know, they're in the 26s, 28s, 29s, floating around on pedal bikes still. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So it is what it is. That's why I get a lot of bad attention dealers in the city of Liverpool. Because I scream for the families who have lost their children to these rats. I scream to bring attention when everyone else has forgot about it. There's some families out there where the police won't investigate them again because there's no fresh evidence. The papers don't re-highlight it because it's such a long time ago. So the murders are just gone in the mist, if you like. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Whereas every so often when someone like me, who's got the good interests of them families in the city of Liverpool in heart, screams and shouts about it, why isn't there being justice done for this family or that family? Why hasn't no one been convicted, or, you know, what it is for the murder of this young man? It brings it all back into the public eye. It gets people talking again. And once whisperers start going again, people start worrying again. He's talking about this again. We need to shut him up. They can't shut me up. So that's probably the way I'm going to go again. I'm going to go back into organised crime groups in the city of Liverpool. I'm going to start, you know, putting the intelligence out that I've already got, and I'm going to be requesting more intelligence on all sorts of unsolved murders in Liverpool, because there's plenty. And it's the same in every city, people, isn't it? You know, I was reading about a case in Salford in Manchester the other day about, I think I spoke about it last night a little bit. I was reading a case about a fella called Darren. Now, think about what I'm saying to you here. He got shot about 11 years ago, in a public house called Wellington. He was shot dead in front of 31 witnesses. Think about that for a minute. 31 people seeing who was responsible for that murder, and they haven't helped. Is that a good thing for the community? Is it? I don't think it is it? It's not, is it? And as I said before you've got loads of people that was involved in that crime 10 years later sitting in jail for other charges. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? 10 years later sitting in jail for other charges. If you haven't had the balls and if you're sitting there carrying that secret and you've witnessed that, and you're not willing to come forth and give that family peace of mind, give that family justice, give that mum who's probably heartbroken off it, finished off it, give her the confirmation she needs, you're just as bad as the murderer. Use little rats that are sitting on the sidelines while all this chaos is wrecking your communities, keeping your mouth shut. You aren't doing any good at all for the family, for the community, and especially for yourselves. But because you're holding such a nasty secret, your life's going to be But when I start tapping into that, I've got to be ready. What have I got to be ready for? The backlash. You've got to understand who I'm speaking about here, people. Do you understand? The gunmen are just little weasels. You know, your Cashmans, your Chapmans, just little potheads. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? But the people that pay them, the people that give them the firearms, give them the ability to go out and cause such fatalities on our streets, they're rich, dirty, horrible dealing scumbags, and they'll never risk their freedom. So when I start speaking about crimes that they've been implicated in and start bringing it back into the public light, they want to shut me up. So I've got to prepare myself for the amount of harassment, cyberbullying, everything like I went through over the last 2 or 3 years on the back of what I was preaching about. It drives a lot of nasty attention towards you. Although I'll get the well wishes of the families and certain members of the community, I'll get the bad wishes of the people that are the loudest and the richest within our communities, and that's the dirty bind, isn't it? So, as I say, I've got the balls to do it, mate. And I think I'm the only one who's ever had the balls to do it. You hear all these reformed criminals in the city of Liverpool, but they're never going against the organised crime groups. Not one of them. Oh yeah, let's stop gun crime. Oh yeah, let's stop knife crime. Oh yeah, let's stop this and let's do charity football matches to raise awareness. But not one of them would speak ill about the organised crime groups. Choose a Life, Not a Knife, Calnack UK. It's very powerful and I represent it. And it's a community-based message. It's not a council-based. You know, it's grown from the floor up. It hasn't come out of a meeting with some councillors. It hasn't been 3 or 4 gangsters thinking, we need to give back. We need to balance it out, because that's what most of them are. You've got gangsters, reformed characters, so they say, being funded by active gangsters. Because that's what criminals do. They like to destroy communities on one hand, but then on the other hand, look like they're doing good in the community. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm just as raw as mate. I don't give two fuck them rats who are in them organised crime groups, and I'm going to scream about it. It's them organised crime groups that are looking at the disorganised crime groups and thinking which ones are the clever ones and the gamest out of them. So up here you've got the business-like rats. And then down here, you've got the street kids who don't really understand what they're getting into because they're money driven. But up here, you've got the rats that know exactly what the kids are into. And they're watching and they're willing to sit there and watch some of these kids get lifed off for doing it for them. So these organised crime groups will look at the disorganised crime groups and go, wow, he's a bus driver. He's good in a car, he's good on a bike, we could get him. And the kid gets used and abused. Initially, he's just driving my man left, right and centre. Before you know it, he's driving parcels left, right and centre. Before you know it, he's getting access to these and that and the other. They know he's game in the first place, so they say, do you want to earn a wage? Oh, you got to go and do him in the leg. He goes and does him in the leg, gets a nice wage. There you go, they've got him like a lapdog. He's just made more in that one mission than what he's made in the last 2 months doing 10 missions transfer left, right and centre. Now they've got his tongue wet. Do you want to earn 30? Go and put one in his chest. Bang. Kids get lifed off. Let's get another kid out of that disorganised crime group. You're on it? And that's what's going on within the city of Liverpool. I can't speak about other cities because it is what it is. I'd love to, but it's not my territory. Okay? City of Liverpool. These organised crime groups that are sitting there thinking you fill the gaps of them that are in custody. These are all about to be exposed. These are all about to be screamed about. You, your businesses. Don't forget, Cashman wasn't alone. Cashman had people giving him what he wanted. Cashman had people helping him launder his money so he could buy legit businesses. Do you understand what I'm saying? What about them people? who were still in the community, who were willing to give more Cashmans what they need to do what they're doing. So, sorry I went on a little bit of a hot topic there, but I've been sitting there for weeks thinking, you know what? What content can I make? Now, I can go out up and down the country delivering flyers. I do that anyway. I can go around to cathedrals, but it's not really good content because I've done it all over the last few years. What I know is powerful and helps the city of Liverpool is speaking about organised crime groups. So that's what I'm going to be pushing towards again. I don't know when. I've got to get myself, the technology to do it right. Because I don't want to just sit on here and give intelligence out. I want to do it a little bit deeper. I want to dramatise it. I want to get out there in the middle of the night and be on the estates where this shit's happening and get a few hours content to go with the wordings of what I'm preaching. And that's always been my intention. Always when I was doing that, I had a few people wanting to come in, like his Shaun Attwoods and his team and all that, wanting to come on. But the minute I said to him, all right, get 2 cars, get a camera, and let's go into Liverpool. We're not doing that. So this is one of them things that even, when I've done the documentary with Panorama, I'm saying to them, it's sweet, just get me in a car and let's go to Liverpool. They're going, no, we need 2 cars and we need security. So when we're going to do this documentary in Liverpool, I was telling them not to. It's so simple to just go A to B and let's get it done. They've got these security fellas, ex-military, going in front of us 10 minutes in the cars, scouting, making sure the coast is clear, that there's no gangsters around, and then letting us flow in a certain route and do the content. So even them powerful documentary makers prepared to do what I know I can do with just me and a driver. You know what I mean? I can drive myself. Been driving since the age of 13. So it is what it is. Put me in a decent fast car, and unless they ran me off the road, they're not really going to catch me. Do you understand what I'm saying? So